What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua had this to say about his ex-coach. He says, quote, "He didn't teach me anything anyway." Anthony Joshua holds nothing back on ex-coach. Anthony Joshua has compared his previous trainer, Robert Garcia, to his new cornerman, Derrick James. After the two-time heavyweight champion made the switch at the beginning of the year, Joshua spent the vast majority of his professional career with Rob McCracken, but went in a new direction after his loss to Alexander Usyk in 2021, where he turned to Garcia. However, the appointment was an unsuccessful one as AJ lost once again to the highly skilled Ukrainian and made the decision to ditch Garcia after just one fight together. Now, Joshua is working with Derrick James, who also trains with Errol Spence and Jamal Charlo, along with Frank Martin as well, to name a few. And this is what AJ had to say. He said, "I recall when I was training for Usyk, and I had Robert Garcia on board. The fight date kept getting pushed back, and the general conversation in the Usyk camp was, we need this fight to happen soon because we don't want AJ to spend as much time as possible with Robert Garcia." He was like, in my mind, I was like, shrugs, I didn't feel like I was being taught anything anyway, so I didn't think it mattered if I spent a year with him. I was still going to do my thing anyway. With Derrick James, I soak up every second that I'm in the gym with him, whether I am successful or not. Derrick James is the truth. As his own individual person, Derrick James is the truth. The time spent with him is very, very valuable. Wow. And let me counterpunch. Basically, he was saying Robert Garcia was trash. But understand this. And what I came to figure out about Robert Garcia and Anthony Joshua was, according to Robert Garcia, there wasn't really smooth times in that camp anyway. There were times when Robert Garcia wanted to pack all his shit and go back home to California, to Oxnard, when he was in the UK. And it was mostly like a very passive relationship. It was like Robert Garcia was that guy, just like the fight. You remember the fight? Robert Garcia was outside that corner and Angel Fernandez was inside that corner. So you ask yourself, okay, who was who? Okay, was it Angel Fernandez? Was it him being the head trainer, or was it Robert Garcia? Because it seemed like it was just Angel, was taking charge most of the time, and it wasn't Robert at all anyway, So that's what I felt was strange. So that alone, you can tell when Robert Garcia just felt all he had to do was hang on the outskirts and just, say yay or nay or and and all this shit, that really told you a lot, So I can see where and why Anthony Joshua was going to can him if they weren't successful. Maybe, just maybe, we'll never know. But maybe if he would have won, he would have got rid of Robert Garcia anyway. However, what Robert Garcia recommended for AJ was the same shit he has now. And he was happy that he was with Derrick James, but he wanted Anthony Joshua to come out of that comfort zone, to get in a situation where you're with other people, so it gives you more of a competitive mindset. So you can't say he wasn't telling a story about that or bullshitting about that, because that's what AJ's doing. But if AJ felt he wasn't really learning a lot anyway, I don't know. I do question, did he even choose Robert Garcia? He went on to a lot of people. He was with Ronnie Shields down there in Houston, and he talked with, I think, Virgil Hunter, and guys like that. But he ended up with Robert Garcia, and it pissed a lot of people off when he did, because he wasn't black, right? So, and then Robert Garcia wasn't really he's never trained a heavyweight, ever, So he had a lot against him anyway. And I think if you do have those type of speculating or criticizing statements about you, I think at least you can make the initiative saying, oh, look, I'm going to give it my best. And I don't think Robert Garcia did that. I think when Robert came over to the UK to train him, he found out, like, look, this guy has a whole team or a whole lot of people around him that don't do shit for AJ. So guess what? I'm going to do the bare minimum and get my check. That's probably what I'm thinking. You know what I mean? Because if it had AJ thinking like, I didn't learn anything anyway, well, I think Robert Garcia wasn't even trying to put an effort to get you to learn anything. Simply because, hey, you know, you got it already. You got your team. So what the hell you need me for? You know what I mean? I'm just along for the ride. Again, especially outside of that corner, he didn't really take the initiative to get in there. You know what I mean? I've seen Robert Garcia, bro. I've seen him coach. I've seen him in the corner. He has much more passion than that. You know, I've seen him with all his fights with his brother, the Marcos Maidana fights. When he was with Floyd, he was in their face. Maybe because they were Hispanic or Latin fighters that he could talk to them better or whatever. But he showed way more passion. But even, let's go back before that. Even before he got the job with AJ, he was saying, you know what, I'll give Anthony Joshua a little smack. Well, I mean, you didn't see any of that shit now, did you? You didn't see him smack him after the 10th after that rally from Alexander Usyk. So you didn't see any of that. So I think that was all BS, and that alone makes or convinces me that Robert Garcia wasn't doing his full potential as a trainer. And a side note, Derrick James is doing his absolute best because he's trainer of the year. He has a reputation to uphold. He's going to put a good foot forth because the better AJ does, the more it reflects him. Him and all of his fighters. That's Jermall Charlo. That's Errol Spence. Again, that's Frank Martin. And now it's Anthony Joshua. And now he brought on Ryan Garcia. So, no, in Derrick James's mind, my fighters are not going to lose on my watch. So, you know, I'm just putting that with you guys as well. So you guys can understand that to see where that's at. Okay, so Robert Garcia's won, lost, and, you know, he's done that. He doesn't have a pony in the show. But Derrick James definitely does. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of AJ saying that he didn't learn anything anyway from Robert Garcia in comparison to Derrick James. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.